Good morning, grade 6. Today we are going to look at writer's voice again. Last week we focused on mood and tone, and this week we're going to just focus on establishing our tone so we can become better writers and more engaging for our reader. So, what is tone? What I want you to do is think about like a thriller or a scary movie or something. Hopefully, you don't watch too many, but you can probably imagine it. Think about the music that's in a movie, like that, and how it how it makes you feel. You probably feel like your heart beats faster, or your hands feel a bit sweaty, or you feel a bit anxious by what's going to happen in the movie. So that will help. That obviously that helps us understand it in a movie, but we can't do that in when we're writing a story because we can't press play and have music going as we read our story. So tone is the same thing, but tone is to help make the author tell the reader, this is how you should be feeling, this is how you should be thinking. But it's doing it without saying a word about how they are supposed to be feeling or thinking. Okay, you might be a little bit confused. Hopefully by the end of this you'll be okay. So how am I supposed to do that? All right, well, once you've chosen your tone, so you might choose a scary or funny or nostalgic or a thrilling tone, a good idea is probably to go and have a read of some books with that tone. I'm not saying the whole thing. I just mean like go grab a few off the shelf if you've got some, or have a Google and you might find some little short writing pieces with that tone just to get an idea of the language that they're using, because language is the most important part of our writing, and choosing the right language to use in our writing helps that the reader understand how they're supposed to be feeling and thinking throughout the story. So the more you read, the better you will become at writing. So I really highly recommend that you go and choose a couple of tones. These aren't the only tones there are. There's plenty more out there. We talked about those last week. But yeah, go and have a look at different types of stories. So you're going to do a little activity. You're going to choose a tone, and in your book, you're going to do a mind map with the words associated with that tone. So I'm going to choose the word nostalgic. For nostalgic to me, I think about childhood. I think about my home. I think about holidays. I think about parks, beaches. I think about riding my bike to the pool. I think about getting up in the morning, going swimming training. Those sorts of things. They're nostalgic to me. That's what I imagine when I'm thinking about that word, okay? From there, what I want you to do is then write a descriptive word for each of those words that you choose on your mind map. So childhood, I will choose a descriptive word to meet that. Home, a descriptive word. Holidays, a descriptive word, and so on and so forth. Be descriptive, okay? So you need to think about what the character would notice. You need to set the scene, and the more descriptive, the more the reader will imagine the story and feel like they're part of it. So Sonali on Monday wrote a really great piece, and I'm just going to show you one paragraph. I'm not going to read the whole thing. You guys can read that after. But it's using really good descriptive language. So they slumped onto the crunchy autumn leaves as they arrived at the river. So slumped, crunchy, you imagining it after a long, treacherous journey to the river. All they wanted to do was relax tiredly. So another great word. They gazed, another fantastic descriptive word, at the sky as another cloudy night rolled in, covering the last bit of the sunset sky. Okay, so then she's used the sky was consumed in numerous shades of grey, white, and black. So she's using colours then to help us imagine it. That's a really great piece because she's really putting us in that place of the reader, for the reader. So remember when you are writing, if you've got a comedy, something serious can still happen in the comedy, but you just need to think about the right tone for that. So it's going to be a little bit of a different tone in a injury if someone hurt themselves in a comedy or someone hurt themselves in a sad story. But you just need to keep your tone consistent, and it'll take some practice. And you need to use those visual details, so those descriptive words as well. So your activity today is to use the same prompt as Monday. What happened when the girls went to the river? You need to rewrite your 2 paragraphs using a particular tone, not phone, tone. I want you to remember this is the beginning of a story. So you're not going to finish the story in 2 paragraphs. Write the tone at the top of the page so your teacher knows what you're trying to attempt and they can give you proper feedback. If we don't know what tone you're trying to attempt, it's very hard for us to give you correct feedback. Okay, so really think about those things. Go back and read some stories with different tones. And this should all help you with your writing to become really, really good. And everyone's improved so much in their writing over the last 4 weeks, I think. So kudos to you. You're doing a fab job. Keep it up.